Yes, and you do a great job. What else is up?
Nothing. Dad and I were just talking about you.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Oh, my ears must have been burning then, as to
Yeah.
call you after. Good things?
Um. Well, I can just tell you that if I'm sitting around waiting all day tomorrow, I will be frustrated. So
Great. Okay. Bye. Love you. See you tomorrow.
I love you too. Bye.
Yeesh. Hi, everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. It's me. It's Jacob. It's January 17th, episode 17. Today, I'm going to talk about movies because I am still San's guest, but hopefully my buddy might come to the rescue here and we might do a phone interview. That's what I was just testing with my mom to see if that worked. So, film, movies, something very important to me, something I hold dear and near to my heart. Acting was something that I used to do. I used to be a theater major in college. And the reason why I wanted to talk about movies today is one, out of gas, running out of gas here, and movies are an easy go-to. And I wanted to talk about some acting stuff. And so I was watching scenes this morning from Crazy Stupid Love, that Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell, Emma Stone movie, and it's hilarious. It's a very good movie. It's maybe one of the best rom-coms ever. And one of the reasons why it's so great is because it's a rom-com, not from like the love perspective. It's Steve Carell's rom-com. He's the main, so I guess it's from a man's perspective about like, so in the movie, Ryan Gosling has a pretty hard-hitting line where he says, it's pretty funny. He asks a girl, would you sleep with Steve Carell? And the girl says, yeah. And then Steve Carell opens his mouth and starts blabbering like, what? Really? You'd sleep with me? This is crazy. And Ryan Gosling goes, do you see? You opened your mouth and now she's having doubts. And Steve Carell goes, that's the meanest thing anybody's ever said to me. And Ryan Gosling goes, no, this is, your wife cheated on you because you lost sight of what it means to be a man, what it meant to be a husband, and probably what it means to be a lover. And Steve Carell goes, yeah, you're okay, yeah, that was the meanest thing anybody's ever said to me. And I just think that's pretty cool to be able to hear that. It makes you think, oh, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a lover? Or a husband? And a lot of times, my friends, especially when we were younger, would get mad at me because I'd want certain things in my life to resemble a movie. And they'd be like, no, it's not. Life is not a movie. And I'm like, why not? Why shouldn't I have dialogue like from Pulp Fiction? Why shouldn't we have engaging conversations like that? Why shouldn't we look at things philosophically and take things from movies that are obviously based in truth and apply them as almost a fictional narrative to our lives? And I just think it's a really fun way to engage in a movie. Is like, so when I was in acting class, the teacher would always tell us to watch heavy-hitting movies like Schindler's List or 12 Years a Slave or, Deliverance. Some of these harder-hitting films that really make you squirm or make you see things that you've never really been put in front of you. And they're not based in historical fact, sure. I mean, they're loosely based. They're fiction. They're not fact. They're fiction. But the amazing thing about it is that as humans, our best way of communicating is through narrative, is through story. So if you watch something like 12 Years a Slave or Schindler's List, you can build a lot of empathy for a situation more so than maybe learning about it in history class. And building empathy is a key thing that you should do if you want to be an actor, because you have to have a wide range of emotions to draw on, and the thought then becomes like, how quickly can you draw on those, right? Because you got to be ready to go. Which leads me to one of my more opinionated points about method acting and all that stuff. So in class, they would always, when I first started at Cleveland State, hold on, I'm sending a text to the mystery guest. When I was at Cleveland State, the Joker, the Dark Knight was like a real big deal. And anytime we brought up anything about acting, the kid, like 9 out of 10 kids would be like, oh, that was the most moving performance I've ever seen with Heath Ledger as the Joker. And all the teachers would kind of like roll their eyes, you know what I mean? Because I think that there's a romance to the idea of being like a method actor, right? Like going so far into the role that you become you become Abe Lincoln, like with Daniel Day-Lewis, or you become the Joker, like Jared Leto tried to do and Heath Ledger tried to do as well. And when you bring this up to an actor who's been acting for a long time and who's made a career of it, they kind of think that it's almost unprofessional. Like Matthew McConaughey said that working with Jared Leto on Dallas Buyers Club was kind of a pain in the ass, and anybody who's ever worked with Daniel Day-Lewis says it's a pain in the ass because you're working with him on the set of Lincoln, and kind of the underbelly of like acting and being on film is that like you are on stage, you're on your call time to get on set is 6 a.m. and then you have to be there all day until you're needed at 9 p.m. for your one scene, right? And so you're sitting around a lot, and if there's some guy on set who has to be called Lincoln or Abe anytime you see him, or you're with Jared Leto and you're like, what's up, Leto? And he goes, the name's Mr. J, because he's pretending to be the Joker for 90 days of shooting. It's like a big pain in the ass. And here comes Nathan. Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is working out very nicely. I'm just on speakerphone putting you up to the mic.
Okay. So am I on air right now?
You're on air. I haven't talked to you in so long.
I know. I haven't talked to you in a while. I missed you. How are you?
I missed you too. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been loving the podcast.
Aw, thanks. You didn't have to say that.
It looks like it's getting lots of positive feedback.
It's getting some. Yeah, it's not bad. I was just talking about how like method acting is kind of annoying, and how that's where I was. Is that method acting is annoying because like you have to be referring to somebody as like Mr. J all day on set. You just flushed the toilet?
No, no. I'm at work. I'm cleaning out a coffee cup.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Like to deal with a method actor on set.
Big pain in the butt.
It just.
Nate, hello? Nate. Where'd you go, bud? All right, yeah. Having technical difficulties. This is fun.
Huh?
There you are. We couldn't hear you for a second.
No, you're good. Well, I don't know. But the method actors are all the best ones.
See, I think they give like really good performances like once or maybe like twice, but I don't think they can like deliver all the time or have like very long
I want to know
careers.
like at what point it breaks somebody. I mean, I saw Vice with Christian Bale, and like, dude, he looked like he was on the verge of a heart attack just in the movie.
He doesn't do method though.
Yeah, he does. Christian Bale.
Does he?
Yeah.
Like people had to call him Batman on the set of Batman?
Well, I don't know about that, but I know he's a method actor. Isn't he in The Pianist or whatever? Or am I thinking of I don't know, The Machinist?
Yeah, he is in The Machinist.
Yeah, he got all skinny for that.
Well, I don't think
Remember?
I think that's not necessarily method acting. I think 9 actors who take method acting to extremes. What is Christian Bale worth? Why is it always worth with the Google? No, I had you on to
Want to
talk.
know?
Jared Leto is method. Daniel Day-Lewis is method. Heath Ledger was method, but he's dead now. Portman does it. Christian Bale, yeah, Christian Bale does do it. Darn.
Portman's new movie was terrible.
What was it?
It wasn't terrible.
Oh, is it the one with the
Portman's-
sci-fi one?
It's called no. It just looks like it's going to be a sci-fi movie, but it's not. It's the same story as A Star Is Born.
Like her playing like a ghost, like a serious Ghostbuster. It's the same music.
No, she plays like a pop star.
Oh,
She did a fantastic job, but the movie was just to me.
she's so pretty.
Alright. Yes,
I
she
was-
is.
I was listening to an interview with Sarah Silverman where her manager once told her that Natalie Portman is the only Jewish woman in Hollywood who's allowed to have a love interest and not just be the funny friend.
She's Jewish?
Yeah, Natalie Portman's Jewish.
Who knew?
Yeah, because she doesn't. That's exactly it. Because she doesn't look like Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She doesn't. She gets to play
Right.
the. She gets
Although
to play the
I
leading. Woman.
always thought that Julia Louis-Dreyfus was bad.
Yeah, I hope my future wife looks like her.
Yeah.
She's also rich. Her father is like one of the richest men in the world.
Dreyfus is a rich name. Your last name is Dreyfus. You got money.
Yeah, family money, old money.
hmm
So, well, we could talk about movies. I also just would like to catch up with you.
Here, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a bad time to be on air.
It's all good, bro. I had Nathan call in, so because he's one of my only friends who like really appreciates like all film like I do. Like we'll go out of our way to see a classic just because it's a classic, whereas like some other people I don't hang out with
Hey, can
necessarily.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. They don't necessarily want to watch Pulp Fiction or like waste their day watching David Lynch films like me and Nate used to do when we lived near each other.
I recently saw a David Lynch movie. It was my favorite one I ever saw.
What, Blue Velvet?
No, that was my favorite. But Wild at Heart with Nicolas Cage. Dude, Nicolas Cage increasingly becomes more and more just a legendary actor to me. I like Nick Cage. I'm
I
a
do
Nick
too.
Cage apologist.
A Nick Cage apologist, like Kanye
He just gets
apologist.
cast for bad roles.
Yeah, like
you
Face
know?
Off.
And National Treasure. It's, how
National Treasure is a dope movie. You can't deny
National
National
Treasure's
Treasure is like
corny,
a
man.
cool movie.
Did you see Mandy?
Mandy? No, I don't think I
His
have
new
seen
one? The
No.
slasher one? The Ponos Kamasmopoulos one? It was really good.
I'm Googling now.
It was so good. It was so good.
He also
that
has
I
a lot
watched
of
it
really
again.
he also has a really lot of funny little cameos nowadays too.
And you've seen Raising Arizona, right?
I've seen Raising Arizona, amazing. Nick Cage has won like
Amazing.
Oscars.
Yeah, he's great.
Like a
He's
couple.
a method act. He did method acting for a little while, I know.
I wonder if he had a method act for Face Off.
He plays the cokehead in Face Off?
He plays like him and Alec Baldwin switch. They switch face.
That's right,
Not
that's
Alec.
right.
It's not Alec Baldwin though. It's Johnny Travolta. Well, a lot
Johnny
of
Travolta? Who says John Travolta like Johnny Travolta?
I guess I do. I think it's funny. I try to call actors by like names that like because nobody calls Robert De Niro when you see him. You probably call him Bob
Robbie.
or Robbie.
Robbie
Oh, I
De Niro.
love that. Well, you know what happened to Nick Cage is that he got divorced and he was like buying castles and wasting all his money. And then when he got a divorce, he was like, well, shit. And so now he's just had to do a bunch of bad movies. It happened to Robin Williams too. You just get so much.
So how many people are listening in right now to you? Do you get to know that?
I don't do them. So this comes out at like 3:00 today. Once I'm done recording it, it comes out at like 3. But I'd assume I'm averaging like 50 a episode.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty
that
good.
Feels like a lot.
I'm pretty happy about it because the last one I averaged like 100 on the first episode and then like 20 every episode after that. The first
Right.
time I did this, so
This one's a more steady burn for you.
it seems to be. But it's also every day, so that's been a pretty hard burn.
Yeah, that must be difficult to set up for yourself. But I like it. This morning I watched Soulja Boy Breakfast Club that came out yesterday.
Bro,
Can we talk about that?
I would love to talk about that because I think it is absolutely ridiculous the things he is saying, but I just
Okay, you see, I'm starting to actually be on his side. I kind of think that, and here's when it hit home for me is when he made me realize that the Drake lyric, the tell me what's really going on, just back up and everything, I'm ready, what's happening.
right, and he
totally
relates it to
the
kiss me
Soulja
through
Boy.
kiss me through the phone.
That is 100% the same flow.
Yeah,
And it was like the same time. It just makes sense to me.
it does.
And
It does.
Drake does that. Everyone knows Drake does that. He does that with everybody. But at the time, that to me, that's like the first recognizable flow swagger
Drake.
jack. And I am not dissing Drake's swagger jacking flow. I think that he's good at that, and it's cool when he does that. And it's just like kind of it brings hip hop to other people that it brings other artists to other people.
Right, like when he jacks like that European style he's been grabbing lately.
Oh, there's a large bag of styles I feel that he has like grabbed. But you know what? Some of it comes from great artists that I maybe wouldn't even know if it weren't for Drake putting them on. And so,
Do you have an example off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean Dram with Hotline Bling. I mean all the UK grime stuff, which I love.
Yeah, I
he
appreciate
loves
it.
too. And his co-sign to BBK and all that is really cool. And him, I wish that he'd have went through with funding the Top Boy reboot and, other things like that. Anyway, Soulja Boy. So what he was saying about that made sense to me. And then also, I don't know, Godfather of modern hip-hop.
Soulja Boy is?
I mean, dude, like, he was first of all, he was totally hip hop. He was like self-produced, self-written, everything. You know what I mean?
So
it was music.
So here's my problem with it. The whole thing is that when was the last time we talked about Soulja Boy?
Well, that dude.
And now
I talk about Soulja Boy a lot, but also remember I know Soulja Boy. I met Soulja Boy. Been to his house.
Well, that's sick. But like when he lost attention, and he's like, well, I can't. He probably called a couple famous girls, and he's like, will you date me? And they said no. And so now he's like, well, I'll just start beef with
he's like a
Drake
troll.
and Kanye.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's not like a mean troll. He's not like a troll, a negative troll. He's never been like a negative troll. He like makes up his own songs and dances, and it's just ridiculous.
Right. So it's not negativity, but it's still just
video game consoles, and he's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, he is hilarious.
And there is something to be said for the fact that because he's a rapper and a black entrepreneur, he, of course, his ideas get met with a lot of resistance. And
are Drake and Kanye not black entrepreneurs?
Well, they're not making video game consoles.
That is true.
And Kanye West has been the root of his frustration. Has been how he gets taken, how he's viewed in other industries because of his work in hip hop.
But for Soulja Boy to say he taught Kanye everything he knows,
I never heard him say that.
What did he say about? I'll pull it up. This is very interactive. I like this.
I'm a good guest, dude. You gotta call me more.
I would like, dude. I have done 3 solo episodes in a row, and right now having you on here is a real treat. On Kanye, Soulja Boy on Kanye. Drake, Kanye West reclaims the best comeback of 2018. Soulja Boy still better than Kanye snatched.
Well, what Charlemagne said about that, I think I agree with, which is that in order for him to have had the best comeback of 2018, which who cares who had the best comeback of 2018? That's like saying that's whack. That's hurt to me. That's like saying that's just like who cares who had the biggest comeback? And like
these people are trying to come back from obscurity. Nobody has talked about Soulja Boy in so long, and now he's like.
But that's not true though. If you are in the hip hop community, Soulja Boy has always been making news. Always.
Does he still make music?
Well, I don't know about that.
When was the last time he got like a I have never heard him. I'm gonna type it right now. Is Soulja Boy?
Versace, Amigos.
I've never heard him do any of that. Here, I'm going to Soulja Boy right now on Spotify, and I'm seeing when his last song came out. Crank that. Kiss Me Through the Phone. Pretty Boy. Yeah, he hasn't dropped shit. He dropped a whole album. Oh, look at that. He dropped a whole album in 2018. What? Oh, he's actually dropped, and he dropped Young Draco too.
Yeah,
And
but dude, see,
Best to Ever Do It. He dropped 3 albums. He dropped 4 albums.
You're in the wrong place. Like,
Wally World?
He's not the kind of artist that you look into their music, like, and listen to their music at face value. You wouldn't do that with Gucci Mane. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? You wouldn't even do that with some Lil Wayne. Like, a lot of their music and their art form has to do with their character.
Dude.
And who they are and the things they do outside of rapping.
King Soulja was his first drop in 2018, 21 songs. The next one he did was 15 songs. And then the one after that was 14 songs, and then another 10 songs. He dropped over 40 songs in... Wow. That's a lot of songs to drop. That's like 50 songs in 2018.
Yeah, but you got to realize that it's not like, these aren't like...
calculated.
These aren't calculated hits. It's not like he's like trying to break through the boundaries of music anymore. He's not like a young 17-year-old kid with a program making a banger anymore.
Right.
Which is what he was when he started, like, dude, and he made all, and he was making all those tracks that were huge back then. Like, that was awesome because there wasn't like a lot of people doing that.
And you could say that, like, how Drake always says he's like the underground king and all that. Really, it might be Soulja Boy.
Man, that's just so Drake being the underground king. That's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life.
Well, you can crown yourself whenever you want.
I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't ridden to some of Drake's street shit, and I don't.
Or
love
gone to
some of
me,
Drake's street shit.
or gone with me all the way to Chicago to see Drake.
Yeah, I love Drake. But listen,
Drake.
what I'm saying is that, like, he makes lots of different kinds of good music. He makes good music for the streets. He makes good music for the bedroom. He makes good music for the club. But none of it is like authentic to itself. I would be embarrassed to be seen bumping Drake's street shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's
I almost exclusively
be playing some rapper from Chicago or something. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think the reason why is that it blends to the mainstream. Like, every time Drake does an album, it's like that album of like AM for Arctic Monkeys. The first Arctic Monkeys albums are good, and the one after AM is good. But like AM,
and to me, when that comeback didn't even make sense. That comeback was like they were never even that big.
Who?
Like, they were
Arctic
never,
Monkeys?
Right? Yeah.
AM did work.
AM did work, and it was like kind of a garbage album. Like, dude, and this is a band that has had a perfect album in my opinion. Hey. But like, I don't know. I'm all about celebrities and artists riding the line between business and art, but you got to be careful how much what battles you choose. You don't want to be sitting there listening to Soulja Boys 40 songs.
No, I want to be sitting there listening to Drake's top 6. But like, all right, so. I think it's just a Pusha T move. Like, Pusha T drops an album, he starts a little beef with Drake. You know what I mean?
Right, and now all of a sudden he's like a superstar, and he never really was a superstar.
He's got some bars that are killer, but nobody really cares. Pusha, you're not getting played.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but you have to realize the impact that he's had on music in general. I mean, the clips and everything like that. There's history behind Pusha T and his music, and he's an incredible rapper. I love Pusha T's music. But no, he's not like a pop rapper, and he was like a street rapper. He was like a coke rapper. That's all he rapped about was coke. But now he's he's so in such a different lane than Drake that beef didn't even make sense. That beef to me was like, in my opinion, Pusha T lost that beef out the gate because he was clearly trying to put attention on his name by using Drake's name. Like, there's no, like, dude, I guarantee you over half of Drake's fans had no clue who Pusha T was until that
right.
beef.
Right.
And, and Meek Mill, he widened his audience, but he's, okay, you want to talk about a comeback musically, Meek Mill might have had the biggest comeback of 2018. He came back musically with the hardest album he ever made. And
he came back from jail.
Yeah, and in the right way, and had like really good things to say about it. And he was talking about his experience.
Yeah, like he did the T.I. thing. The T.I. thing.
Yeah, right. He did the T.I. thing.
T.I. was that whole T.I. thing.
I gotta go back to work.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Bye. I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Buddy.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
What a fucking great individual, that boy. He So to talk about acting is like, thanks to him, I would say that Nathan is really the only reason I have the balls to do stuff like this, to do funny Instagram videos, to do podcasting, to do anything that I do creatively. I would really say Nathan was like the start of all that for me. And it's funny too, because me and him went to high school together, but we weren't really friends in high school. He was a grade older than me, and we were in some, like, I know we had math class together, but me and him never really like hung out outside of school that much. And then sophomore year of college, I was living at home at my parents' house, and he was living in Kent, and I don't really remember what the event was that we were both at. I think it was like some shitty like concert at a clothing store or some weird thing. And we see each other, and he's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I'm hungry too. Let's bail because this event is lame. And we go across the street to Taco Bell, and it's just immediately just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, making each other crack up, saying crazy shit. And we just, all of a sudden, we're best buds. And he's like, come out to Kent next weekend. And I was like, hell yeah. And after that, I was there pretty much every weekend, basically living at his house. Like, I'd go right after work on Saturday night or Friday night. I'd come right from the hardware store to Nate's house, and then we'd hang out all night, stay up all night, and then I'd drive back to go to the hardware store, and then I'd drive back that night. So it was just like, I was just there. And he lived with his cousin Sam and our buddy Ryan, and they were so encouraging, and they're so creative. Both of them can play like every instrument, and they're both so funny, and they love art and movies. And Sam makes movies now in LA, and he was making a movie in Kent, and he put me in it. And Nate and him were just so encouraging. They're like, you're funny, bro. You're so funny. And like, we'd make like stupid little things and have like a lot of fun creatively. We'd have a lot of fun creatively, and we'd just get get all kinds of turned up. And some of like the best times of my life were definitely that summer and winter, running back and forth and hanging out with Nate. We even went to Chicago together, like we mentioned. And then since he moved to Oregon, Coos Bay. Nate's such an amazing friend that I call him one day, and I'm like, I have enough money. I'm buying a plane ticket. I'm coming to visit you. And he's like, awesome. 2 days later, he texts me, I'm throwing a huge party at an event space, and you're going to be the guest DJ. Here's the flyer. And he sends me the flyer. And he's like, you just have to figure it out by the time you get here. It's like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, sorry for the sniffling. It's so gross to do that on air. But he did exactly what he said. There was 250 people. I DJ'd. I did a terrible job. I bombed. But like, to just have a person who just has that kind of momentum in your life is really a blessing. And I love him very much. We'll have more crazy times together, but like, that was definitely a special little moment, little chunk of my life right there, was hanging out with Nate. I am going to not talk about movies and stuff anymore. I'm gonna leave it at the niceness and the Nate appreciation clip. So goodbye, love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Also, before I sign off officially, he made the song, my intro and my outro. He made it. So thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for being you, Nathan. All right, now I'm really going to go. Bye. I'm back one more time. I embellished a little bit when I said I have 50 views per episode. I looked at my numbers following this, and it's more like a lot have 50. Some have like 100, and then some have like straight 6. And that's okay. So I'm going to say my average is 20, not 50, 20. That's safe. All right, thank you. Bye.
I'm not always right. I'm only trying to be nice with my unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice.